Good afternoon, grade 5. This is now the 5th day of quarantine, and I am going to be going over day 5's packet. So, before I do that, make sure you subscribe to Triple G5, okay? I know we can get more than 48 subscribers. Like, come on. Show some love, all right? So in day 5's packet, I really want you to focus on page 18, multiplying decimals by whole numbers, page 19, multiplying decimals less than 1, and page 20, multiplying decimals greater than 1. So I was informed that some of you may be struggling on page 18, number 10. So if you want to open up your packet to page 18 and go to number 10, I'm going to do it out with you, okay? It's very simple. Do not stress. We got this. Okay. So I wrote down, hold on, technical difficulties. So I wrote down all the page numbers. And if you take a look, we're going to do number 10, which is 21 times 0.05. So a few key things to remember when you're multiplying decimals. So you know how when we added and subtracted decimals, we had to line up our decimal point? With this, when multiplying, you do not need to line your decimal up. So personally for me, I like to just do standard multiplication with this. So what I did was, I wrote 0.05 times 21, just how I would normally do it if it was like a normal number, okay? So we're going to multiply out, and if you are struggling with multi-digit numbers, go back to some previous videos. I go over it, and I know Miss Bell also has a video that goes over multiplying multi-digit numbers, okay? So, taking a look, we're just going to multiply like normal. So we have 1, we're going to start with the 1 in 21 and multiply it by all the digits in 0.05. So 1 times 5 is going to give us 5. Write that down. We know that 1 times 0 is going to give me 0, so I can put my 0 down. And we know that 1 times 0 again is going to give me 0, so I'm going to write that down. Before I can multiply my 2, I need to make sure that I put a 0 before I do any multiplication. We know that 5 times 2 is going to give me 10. So I'm going to put the 0 down in 10. And I'm going to put the 1 in 10 above this 0 right here. You see this little 1 right here. Okay. 2 times 0 is 0. Plus that little 1, you can't forget about that little 1, is going to give me 1. So I'm going to write 1 down and make sure to cross off that little 1 so that you don't use it again. And then obviously 2 times 0 is going to give me 0. From there, you are going to add them up. So do that out with me right now. 5 plus 0 is going to give me 5. Ooh, I'm running out of room here. So what I'm going to do, because I don't want to make it like, I don't want to squish it in, you know what I mean? So I'm going to just do an arrow and do the answer over here, okay? Because I'm running out of room on my paper. Probably should have planned that out better. But we know that 5 plus 0 is going to give me 5. So I'm going to write down 5 by my arrow. I know that 0 plus 0, right here, I'm just writing the answer over here because I ran out of room under here. 0 plus 0 is going to give me 0. 1 plus 0 gives me 1. And obviously 0 plus nothing or 0 is 0. So I'm just not going to even write, well, I'll write that down right there. So just pretend, because I ran out of room, just pretend this number is right underneath here. I just ran out of room and I don't want to like squish everything. So now we have to figure out where we're going to put the decimal. And this is really simple. It's not going to be like adding or subtracting decimals where you can just bring it down. What we're going to do is count the number of hops it takes to get to the decimal. And what I mean by this is this. You're going to start at 0.05. You're going to start at the 5, right? And you're going to count, and what I mean by hops is this. There's 1 hop, 2 hops. So that means 1 hop plus, that means that there's 2 hops to get to that decimal in 0.05. So I'm going to do the exact same thing in my answer. So here's my answer. I'm going to start my decimal point right at this 5. And I'm going to move 2 hops. 1, 2. So my answer is going to be 1.05 for number 10. And I box my answer. Okay, if you want to flip over to the next page, page 19, we'll do another example. On page number 19, page 19, I decided to take number 10 as well, and we're going to do another quick example. So we have 0.4 times 0.02, and I have this written down for you. So remember, when you're multiplying decimals, you do not need to line up the decimal. So I decided to put my number here, I would write 0.02, and I put 0.4 underneath. And we're just going to multiply like we normally do, okay? So we know that 4 times 2 is going to give me 8. 4 times 2 gives me 8. And then we know 4 times 0 is going to give me 0. And 4 times that last 0 is also going to give me 0. Make sure that when you're done, before you can multiply that 0 right here, you have to put a 0 underneath. We know that 0 times 2 is going to give me 0. 0 times 0 gives me 0. And 0 times 0 also gives me 0. And then we add. So 8 plus 0 gives me 8, and all of them 0 plus 0 gives me 0, 0 plus 0 gives me 0, and 0. So you should have a number like this right here. Now, remember how we counted the hops in the first problem on page 18? We're going to do the same thing. So taking a look at 0.02, I'm going to start at the 2, and I'm going to count my hops. 1, 2. Now notice how right here we also have another decimal, 0.4. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start at the 4. I'm going to count my hops. 1. Okay? Well, 2 hops plus 1 hop is going to give me 3 hops. So I'm going to take a look at my answer right here. I'm going to start at the 8. I'm going to move my decimal place 3 hops. 1, 2, 3. So my decimal is going to go right here. So my final answer or product is going to be 0.008. And this is number 10 on page 19. Okay, and then you're going to do the same thing for page 20. It's all the same. You do not need to line up your decimals. Just put them in like you were multiplying any old number, and then you're going to count the hops. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Also, just a little shout out to room 344. So when you're looking at the math in ELA Fix-It, make sure instead of sending your answers through Google Classroom, make sure you're sending it into the comments down below that video so that you can get a shout out. Because come on, no offense everyone, but 344 rocks. All right, bye, stay safe, and be good.